right back to our phone callers. Next up is Jason. He's listening in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Hank, how you doing, man? Just want to tell you thank you for your ministry. And I have a quick question.
Sure.
Could you give me a biblical definition of favor? I've been to certain services and just even saying that people are doing like a favor confession, and it's not along the lines of prosperity, but it's almost seeming like to me that they are using their own human works to get God to do something for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm confused. So just clarification on favor and how that could apply to the Christians today.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think that we are experiencing the favor of God. When we devote our time, our talent, and our treasure to the Lord, when I give myself wholly to Him, I experience God's favor. I experience His presence. I experience His smile. So I would say in many ways to experience the favor of God is to experience the presence of God. But that is not to say that we are going to always be financially prosperous or that we're not going to go through the crucible, the time of trial and testing, even temptation. No, we will. If you look at the great Faith Hall of Fame in Hebrews chapter 11, you see that the great men and women of faith suffered horribly. They were tortured, refused to be released so that they might gain a better resurrection. They faced jeers and flogging. They were chained, put in prison, stoned, sawed in two, put to death by the sword, went around in sheepskins and goatskins, destitute, persecuted, mistreated. The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in deserts and mountains and caves. And you think about Paul himself. He was shipwrecked. He was left for dead. He was beaten over and over again. And he says, whatever was to my profit, I now consider loss. What is more, I consider everything a loss compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord, for whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them rubbish. So Paul had the favor of God in that he experienced the presence of God, but that does not mean that the saints of God always win. I have people say to me, keep doing what you're doing. In the end, you're going to be victorious. Well, in one sense, that's true. In the sense of looking at your life from the perspective of eternity, you will be victorious, but that does not mean that you're necessarily going to win in the short term. If you look at so many of the saints that have trod this path before us, they have suffered, and many of them from a worldly perspective have lost, but from an eternal perspective, they have experienced the favor of God because they've experienced the presence of God.